Ooh, oh, chair. Oh, closer. There we go. No. Oh. Haven't live streamed in a while. Hey, Suki, how you doing? Well, this is just all kinds of discombobulated. Yeah. Probably should have had that set up beforehand. I'm glad to hear. How's my old Fruggle doing? There. It's been a while since I've drawn a Peoples, so I thought I would practice on drawing Peoples today. Oh, little buddy got his first round of vaccines. Poor thing. Butt shots. Nobody likes butt shots. Hey, Mantis, what are you up to, sir? I have not seen you in a while. How are you doing? I went onto Twitch expecting to see you streaming, and you were not. I was sad. I'm doing okay, by the way. I had a root canal done on Tuesday, so I'm still kind of sore. Ew. You're preparing a lecture? What's your lecture going to be on? No, he didn't give me the good stuff afterwards, which I'm a little disappointed. He was kind enough, though, to give me some painkillers before the procedure, because I went in a few days beforehand, and he looked over my mouth, and he gave me some antibiotics and a couple painkillers to get me through. I have some stuff for my migraines, though, so I'm not totally without. My mom told me to just, suck it up, Buttercup. I took some stuff a couple hours ago. So it's not sore right now. Brain stuff? What kind of brain stuff? How to fry brains? Oh man. Vicodin. Yeah. I got to have some of that when I had surgery a couple years ago. That stuff does give you some pretty wonky dreams. I think I didn't I take that back. I did have one dream that was like a proper dream, but for the rest of my dreams, it was just like color. I recall dreaming colors. Suki found some stuff that can help him with his stamp conundrum. What'd you find? Mantis, what did you need the Vicodin for? If you don't mind me being nosy. Mine was for gallbladder surgery. a website called Postcrusting where people can send postcards from around the world. That's pretty cool. That's a good way to do it. For your own root canal. Man, mine was stingy. He just gave me Tylenol 3 for your root canal a few years back. And yeah, the tooth pain was definitely worse than the surgery pain. Mine had been giving me headaches for the better part of a week. And I went to my doctor and she was going to have me do an MRI. To see, like, because she was starting to get worried. We'd done some blood work and there was no reason, like, from that standpoint as to why I was having all these headaches. So she was going to run an MRI, but luckily I went to the dentist beforehand and he's like, yeah, that's probably the cause of all your headaches. And I'll be danged if it wasn't. I'm sore, but I don't have those nasty headaches anymore. It's been all of like 2 days since I had my procedure. What you know, May? Yeah, my mom's had like 12 root canals done, so I'm getting like no sympathy from that corner. And I don't know, mine wasn't that bad. And I'll go in January to get the crown put on, just because of insurance. Insurance was going to cover a little bit more if I waited till January. And considering how much I'm paying, every little bit saved counts. In all honesty, I think the bill hurts more than the pain from the surgery. It makes you enjoy flossing. I've had so much dental work done. I broke teeth flossing, of all things. So when I floss, I'm always just slightly terrified. Suki saw the Fathom Events screening of Pokemon I Choose You. It was exciting. And you got a promo card? That's pretty exciting. I was really excited a couple months ago. I was at Target and they were doing like a special promo and I got a promo Magikarp card and a cute little Pikachu hat. I was very stoked for that. Mom called me a nerd. Yeah, so dental work is crazy expensive. And I get like partially why it's so expensive because dentists go to school for a long time. And so, they've got to, pay that back and all that. But gee, my knee. I'm pretty sure between my mom and I, we alone have put at least one of his kids through college. I think next time I go in, I'm going to ask to see a report card because with the amount of dental work Mom and I have had done, as I said, I'm pretty sure I've put at least one of his children through college. I should have gone into dentistry. That'd be one way to pay the bills. Do my own dental work. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I do cuss on the streams. I just want to make sure, you know, there might be little ones. How could the magic carp? Oh, the magic carp was free. Let me go see if I. No, I'm too lazy to go see it. Too lazy to dig it out. I'll dig it out in a bit. I'm a bit of a sailor on my streams, aren't I? Whoopsies. I guess I'm worried, should I ever choose to monetize anything on YouTube, that if I say a no word, I'll get slapped on the hand. YouTube's ad apocalypse. I'm kind of tempted to design little stickers that say like, I survived Inktober, I survived NaNoWriMo, I survived Adpocalypse. I survived a root canal. I survived Game of Thrones. Oh, you're curious because you heard the events, but you never go. Yeah, this one was free. We walked over by the they had a table set up in the toys, between the toys and the electronics, and they had a group of employees, and they had, you know, some kiddos. There were a lot of kiddos and parents. I walked up and I was like, "Can I have a card too?" Then I got a really sweet hat. And by golly, I wore that hat all throughout the store. I didn't care if I was a 30-some-odd-year-old adult with a bright yellow Pikachu hat on. I ain't ashamed. I have no shame. Instead of shame, I have a Pikachu hat. Toys R Us does it for new sets, but you don't go. I honestly, I heard about it, I saw it like someone had posted a thing. I had forgotten all about it. We like literally just so happened to show up for it. I'm not Pikachu hat. I'm gonna wear it right now. Right now. I am très stylish. Has anybody seen Thor yet? These are the cards you got at the movie. Oh my goodness, that's adorable! Oh. Oh, there you are. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I lost you guys. Marco! Okay, I found you. That's adorable. Yeah, it was one of those, like, I just so happened to be at Target that day. Because, as I said, like, I'd heard something about it, but I'd completely forgotten. I don't even remember what I went in there for. But once I saw the Pikachu hats, I knew exactly what I was going after. I might have gone in for something like, you know, toiletries, but I was not walking out without that Pikachu. I don't want to grow up. I'm an immature kid. Polo. Yeah, if I hadn't had drawn animals all throughout Inktober, I was going to do like Art Nouveau, Muka style. Um, images. And I was talking to someone at work today, and he'd said he thought it would be cool if there was just a month dedicated to Art Nouveau. And so we were trying to figure out like what we would call it. Nouveau Ember was the closest thing we came to, and we both agreed that that was awful and that we shouldn't be allowed nice things. You can buy the toys straight up. I think they might have sometimes they might like have a limit on how many you can buy at a time, but I've done that. They had a Moose Beanie Baby, and that's my dad's nickname. I really wanted to get it for him. So instead of just buying a Happy Meal, I think I bought food while I was there. I think I got a salad. And I bought the Moose toy. I've done that a couple times with some of their toys. They're not as cool as like when I was a kid though. Not that much, maybe $2 or $3. Pokemon did a cereal promo with Cheerios and a couple other cereal boxes, and I bought a whole bunch of Honey Nut Cheerio boxes. That was pretty much what I ate for a couple weeks, because I had to get them all. Can you guys even see what I'm drawing? Ah! Yeah, that's better.
Well, let me go get my cards.
Check out these Pokemons. Roll it. Papilio, Litten, and Pikachu. Got a couple Pikachu. Let's see if I can't find that Magikarp. I haven't collected Pokemon cards or even like looked at them or had any interest in them in a really long time. But I thought the cereal box ones were kind of cool. Here he is. Oh yeah. A lot of the cards I have are the older ones. Got a pre-release of the Dark Gyarados. I forgot about him. I have a weird 3D promo Pikachu. I don't remember what that one was from. Aw, they have Pikachu dressed as Mario. That's adorable. Yeah, I haven't looked into Pokemon cards in forever, which is kind of good. I can't afford to get into them again or anymore. Like the cereal one, I didn't mind so much because, well, we ended up eating, we ate all the cereal anyway. So it wasn't that big of an issue. A buddy of mine, he was walking around the square one evening and he stumbled upon that card. He saw it just like laying out in the street. He's like, is that rare? I was like, yeah, I don't know. So he gave it to me because he's a bro. Put that one in my book. I'm surprised I don't have these all in like some sort of protective sheet. I was very, very protective of my Pokemon cards. I'm surprised they're not all in like plastic sleeves. What are these? Put these in here so that they're safe. I'm very, very protective of my Pokemons. Said I was going to draw humans and I end up digging out my Pokemon cards. Now I have a Kids WB Presents the first Pokemon movie card. Oop, sorry. Electabuzz. Got those guys. They're promos from something. Yeah. I don't know. I hadn't, you know. It was something I used to really, really love. And I don't ever really plan on getting rid of my cards. But I don't think I want to get back into it. Like, you know, as I said, the cereal thing was just kind of a fun little side venture, but I don't think I really want to dedicate as much energy as I used to. Whoa! This book's falling apart. There's an open spot. I'll put that right there. I can't help but wonder, like, if I got these all priced and was able to sell them, would it pay off for my dental surgery? Yep, I had a couple Japanese cards. Hey, Underwolf! Yeah, I was very... Oh, my Pokemon cards were very precious. And like, it was a couple years ago, I was cleaning through stuff, and I was getting rid of a lot of stuff, and I came across my Pokemon cards, and I was like, God, you know... I was almost tempted to just, you know, give them away. And I was like, nah, I spent so much time and energy and TLC into them. Even though I'm not the biggest collector anymore, I'm still very proud of my collection. I'd filled out the Pokedex, basically, and I was very proud of myself. And then I was looking up San Diego Comic-Con collectibles, and I found these guys, these two, for a relatively decent price. So I decided to go ahead and get them. It was something, you know, it was something I used to just truly, truly love, and while it's not something I actively participate in anymore, you know, every once in a while, I still like to get back to them. A lot of Pokemon cards are worth real money unless they had low print or Gen Mint. A friend of yours has an uncut sheet of Geodudes. It's about 3 feet tall and 2 feet. That's got to be pretty cool. I would frame that and put it like on the wall. Turn it into like a poster, because I bet that looks really neat. That's got to look pretty cool. Have I seen or am I planning on seeing the new Fathom event Pokemon Week? I didn't even realize there was one out. Suki was just talking about it. I had no idea it was out. I probably won't, just because the only movie theater in my area that was doing, in my convenient area that was doing the Fathom event stuff, that does Fathom event stuff, had a outbreak of bed bugs, and I really, really don't want to bring that into the house. So I probably won't. I might, because that Pikachu card was really cute, I might hop on eBay. What did I just say? I wasn't going to get into it. I wasn't going to get back into it. But that was a really cute Pikachu card. But I'm not getting back into it. But that was a really cute Pikachu card. Pokemon Go, playing that has kind of revived my my love for the game, or reminded me how much I really did love Pokemon. Not to say that I ever forgot, but it's helped remind me. Underwolf, by the way, I saw that Darkwing Duck you drew. He's so awesome. I was so excited. Ooh. They do have it framed in their living room. Good, good. As I said, like I would totally frame it and put it up somewhere. So like, just because I don't know, that's cool. Yeah, that is dope. Man, she just don't understand. I might take you up on that, Underwolf. I'll have to message you on DeviantArt and we'll do some chatting, figure something out. Pokemon. Underwolf, I loved it. It was wonderful. Pokemon does take me, yeah, it takes me back to a simpler time. Like, when my biggest concern was, will I make friends? Now anymore, my biggest concern is, will I have a job at the end of the day? That's a lot more stressful. That is 10 times more stressful. So are you guys excited for Murder on the Orient Express? That's what I just started I wanted to look up armor, and I typed in Murder on the Orient Express. That's how excited I am. You only have 3 friends who are collectors and only 1 visits. I used to go to the Toys R Us Pokemon League every weekend. I was there every weekend. That was the only way you could get me to wake up early on a Saturday. And I had all the badges. Let's see. I think I have them in here actually. No, I don't know where I put them. Oh, here they are. Okay. I kept them with my cards. But I had all the badges. Is that right? I don't know, that doesn't quite look right. And I had put them on my backpack not that long ago, and one of them fell off, so I had to replace it. Because, by golly, I worked hard to collect those badges. You saw the trailer for it, you thought it would be cheesy, looks kind of dope. I would imagine, like, for as long as Pokemon's been going, wow, my stream is janked up. Sorry, I've got a stream on the background just to make sure that everything's going all right. It's still showing like I was looking at Pikachu. Sorry. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I used to collect the badges. Worked very hard for those. Um, oh the so yeah, Pokemon has been around long enough. You'd think like they would have figured out how to do good. Yeah, it's cycling over and over again. Okay, ADD. I'll just put this right over the screen, and if I can't see it, it's not a problem. Um, I don't know. I would probably watch it. I don't know if I would pay Fathom event prices right now, just because as I I just had dental surgery done. Well, I don't know. I'd give it a try. I definitely would watch it. I like good animation. And even if it's cheesy, like just as long as it's fun cheesy. And I remember the first Pokemon movie. That one was intense. Like that was a all things said and done, it was a pretty decent movie. Like it was I think it was a highly respectable movie. Um I definitely liked it. It kind of shaped, it kind of shaped my my childhood. So when drawing swords, does anybody else have the bad habit of drawing the little like guard thing on when their character's holding it on the wrong side? So it's like they're holding the blade instead of the handle. Because I almost just did that. I just caught it. But yeah, Murder on the Orient Express. Anybody excited? Just me? Welcome back, May. That is pretty good, but you have to have an open mind. Hey, Thomas. No, you're not late. No worries. Nobody is ever late to my streams. You arrive just as you are meant to. Sorry, just to hop back onto Pokemon card games. I played the game hardcore. My deck was pretty awesome. Just saying, not to brag, but I was pretty proud of my card deck. Underwolf, if you thought the movie was pretty good, you have to have an open mind for it. As I said, like, I'm always down for good animation. Like, I'm willing to give just about anything a try. Just as long as it's it's good. In your opinion, Pokemon and Cardfight Vanguard have some of the best artwork in any trading card. Pokemon has been around long enough that they've been able to experiment and try out new art styles. Like they haven't just dedicated or kind of gotten themselves stuck in the same art style. So that's what I really appreciate about those cards. That was one of the things that kind of got me into drawing, was the art style, all the different art on the cards. Just saw drawing some art for Love Story about Medusa who is in love with a golem. That'd be interesting. I saw a comic of Medusa falling in love with a someone who was blind, and it was really sweet. It was a very sweet story. Cautiously optimistic for Murder on Orient Express. Snowman left a bad taste in your mouth. That's what I heard. My dad and I were gonna go see Snowman on my birthday. But all I had heard was that it was not very good, so we didn't. We didn't go. Why can't we have a Pokemon trading card game art book in America? I don't know. That'd be really cool. Do they have them elsewhere? Would it just be a matter of getting one imported? I'm a little jealous right now. Some friends of mine are in Ireland for their wedding anniversary, and they sent me a picture. They'd caught a Mr. Mime. So I can't decide if I want to make this one an archer or a mage. I think this one's probably going to be a mage, so this one might be an archer. Yeah, I like the archer idea. I keep making them shorter and shorter. Oops. Remember, kids, don't be afraid to erase. I heard an artist say the other day, if you don't know what you're doing, just make it up. And they're like, yeah, that's exactly how life works. Fake it till you make it, I guess. Oh, congrats, Thomas. You completed 2 art requests on your DA. That's exciting. What were they? You can toss some links up for them if you want. How do people hold pose? No, that's yoga. I know the pose I want, but I'll be gosh darned. No, I don't want to go shopping for a bow and arrow. Well, I found something that might work. It's not quite what I was after, but better than nothing. Oh, now I gotta find it again. What is life? This is drawing, kids. Half of it is finding a reference, and the other half is relocating the almost but not quite. Thomas has shown us some of the images. Archers hold their bows in the non-dominant hand with the arm fully erect. I'm looking for like someone holding their bow at ease. Oh, those are neat. Twilightville Cipher. That's a good one. Brutal Brats. That's really cool. I'm absolutely awful with remembering to check up on DeviantArt. Yeah, those look really cool. Yeah, I'm looking for an at ease, at rest. Post-crossing? I'm not familiar with post-crossing. Then it would either be slung over the shoulder between the arm and the torso. I guess I don't know how to explain what I'm wanting then. Or probably what I'm wanting is not good form. More likely than not, it's just not good form. Yes, Thomas, I got your email. I haven't had a chance to read over it very far. I read some of the prologue today during my lunch. But I just hadn't had a chance to get too far. I wanted to have my notebook next to me so that I could take notes as I was reading it. Ooh. So someone's torso is just a little too long. Look at this. Make her head a little bigger to fit. Widen her up a little bit to better match the torso. Yeah, I kind of forgot entirely how to draw people over the course of the month of October. So kind of what I was wanting to do is sun, moon, and the stars, but I think what I'm going to end up doing is the sun, the stars, and the moon, because shooting star with an arrow. What do I think of the prologue so far? I gotta remember, because as I said, I didn't get a chance to jot down any notes, so I can't quite recall. I'm curious to see how you're gonna, like, the final wording that you're gonna want to do. Um, let me pull it up. Pull it back up. I think I liked that you went into further explaining like the type of individuals, like the magic types that you have in this world. Um, I think by laying some of that out up front, it's not going to be quite as odd when we keep running into all these different ability users and skill crafters. Um, I think because you'd said supernatural forces, they're becoming rare because of some supernatural forces that cannot be explained. I feel like eventually in your story you're gonna have to address that. I feel like you might not explain it in your comic or in your story, but I feel like you as the creator should know. Like you should have an idea as to why. And as I said, it's not something you might have to, you have to exactly touch in the story you're working on per se, but just sort of like as your own world building, as the creator, as sort of like the omni know it all, that you might want to know this is why. And it could be, whatever reason you choose. You'd mentioned that they're becoming more and more rare. As I said, I haven't gone through the rest of the story, but I do recall from the first draft you sent me, just about every single character we ran into had some sort of ability. So it's one of those things like if it's rare, I feel like that should be reflected in the cast as well. Um, and how you choose to do that could be anything from like making some of the individuals instead of having abilities or paranormal oddities, making them normal. One of the ones that comes to mind was the Gator family, having maybe one or two characters from that because it was a large family. One or two of those individuals have a skill, and everyone else be normal or have more normalized skills, nothing quite as elaborate or extreme. But as I said, like I haven't read past the prologue, so I don't quite know how my statements might be null and void when I get further into the story, into this the second round of brainstorming. And this is what I mean, this is what I just consider this to be: brainstorming, getting ideas out and down and just kind of chewed over. Like don't think of anything as like mistakes or you're doing anything wrong. You're just getting ideas down to be chewed over and either poked at, defended, strengthened, so on and so forth, and then some. And Suki has retracted some messages. If I ever find a book called The Compound, it's got a better twist than most Shyamalan. To be fair, M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong doesn't really have twists. Like, that's not fair. Some of his movies have had some pretty good twists. Some of his older movies. I'm not a Shyamalama Ding Dong fan. I liked Lady in the Water. I didn't like that he turned it into basically lip service to himself. really frustrated. I was having issues with my Overdrive account this week, and I wasn't able to listen to my audiobooks. I had one. I had Jonathan Strange and Jonathan Strange and Dr. Normal. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which was one I had been working on. So I had that, but there were a couple other books that I had been on a hold or a waiting list for, and they became available. And I didn't have the ability to return them and then put in another request hold, because I wasn't done with Strange and Norrell yet. And I didn't want, if anyone else wanted to borrow them, I didn't want to hog them. I got it straightened out eventually, but oh, I was so frustrated. Ding dongs. Those are delicious. In the redrafting, the Gator family got their powers from the same person who bit the main character. Okay. Do you show that somehow? Like, is it done at the same time? Were they on the train? And make that little nautical star. Here. A little nautical star. This is going to be the sun. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. I just remembered Armello was on Steam sale a couple weeks ago, and I told myself I was going to buy it, and then I forgot. But I was watching someone play it on Twitch, and I thought it looked interesting. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try, and then I forgot to buy it. And I was just thinking about that because I believe it was Suri who said that he plays it. Wait, oops. Gator Family sounds like a scaly spoof of 80s. I would read something called The Gator Family. Thought of having the Gator family say that they were a normal family until some stranger bit the father and the youngest son. So would that then, is that something that could be, is this magical ability thing something that can be transferred, sort of like vampirism? Like if you bite, if someone who's been bitten bits somebody else, does it spread? Oh, I guess zombieism would be like that. The Beverly Hillbillies. Except destructive, if I remember correctly. They were pretty dangerous. Oh, check eBay for a Steam key. That's what you usually do because it can actually be cheaper. I hadn't thought about that. That's pretty clever. Another game, a game that was on my to keep an eye out for list was went on sale today. I'm not in a place to buy games at the moment. I need to dedicate more time to building up a portfolio. But I love the art. More like, in all honesty, if I could just buy an art book for the game, I probably would. But The Darkest Dungeon, it looks like it was drawn by Mike Mignola. So I recommend checking that out. It's good stuff. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of pleased with this, how this is turning out. Oh, I need to go back and finish inking Queen Bee. I like how this one fills up the thing more. I think I might scan this into Photoshop and resize to fit better. Yeah, I've heard of scalies. Furries, but for the reptiles. They can turn them into vamps, whereas ghouls and hides. That almost seems kind of like a game. I don't want to say a game of Russian roulette, but sort of like randomized. If that makes sense, like that's a lot of things that you might turn into. I really like that. I really like the Harryhausen idea that you'd had, and I almost feel like you could turn that into sort of like the Komodo dragon. So like the Komodo dragon critter might be like the sort of like the maybe the parent of all vampires, and the Harryhausen could be like the parent of all wares or hides, whichever you prefer. I don't know. I like that idea that it could turn into what you were most afraid of, and that's how it got you. Like you were so stunned by your deepest fear, and then it would take advantage of that. How come scalies aren't as big as the furry fandom? I think just in general because people tend to prefer mammals. I mean, like you see that a lot in like the pet owning world as well. I've got quite a few buddies who are lizard breeders, and they get a lot of, they get a surprising amount of like MacGuffins. It's like, what? It's, I don't know. I don't see myself owning a reptile anytime soon. But I don't know. I don't dislike them. I just know they require a lot of care that I can't provide. I think it's just in general people tend to prefer mammals. I think it's one of those things that we sympathize with them better, or we empathize with them better. Their needs are a lot similar to ours. I need to figure out what my next challenge is going to be, because I find I do better. I seem to have better dedication art-wise when I've got like a challenge. For example, like Inktober, Mermay. I guess there's Huevember this month, but I stare at Photoshop enough at work. I don't want to stare at Photoshop when I get home. Yeah, I'm pleased with this. Not bad for the last page of my sketchbook, right guys? Y'all didn't see it, but I did a dance. Suki, are you here? Yes, you're here. So, after the stream the other day, I was just kind of like doodling around, and I drew your little Suki cat again. I liked how this one turned out better. Thomas once had a bearded dragon, but was always so pissy to a point we couldn't keep it. A buddy of mine had a bearded dragon, and she took him with her everywhere. Gorgon. Her name was Gorgon. She was pretty chill. She was pretty chill. My sister was trying to, she said I should talk my parents into letting me get a pet iguana. That didn't fly. Ooh, sorry guys. So yeah, that's the last page of the sketchbook, y'all. Well, technically this is the last page of the sketchbook. Oh! Well, I was gonna save this as a surprise, but... Surprise! I was gonna save that for your birthday.
Surprise, Thomas.
Yeah. 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 Alright, that's yeah. I've gotten in the habit, I don't draw in the first page, and I don't draw in the very, very last page of a sketchbook. Call it superstition, if you will. First and last pages I tend to leave blank. Sketchbook tour, and go! And we're done. Can you hazard request? Sure. Sure. This is the new sketchbook, guys. I found a little bee badge and I thought it was cute. In all honesty, like, to be completely honest, since we are being completely honest right now, I don't care for sketchbooks with rings. I'm left-handed and it's just the worst. But I'd started swatching, making swatches in this sketchbook a while ago. And so it's like, well, that book started, so might as well carry on. My Wayward Son. I also kind of liked how it had a spot to put a pencil. This was a, apparently it's watercolor paper though, so instead of a pencil, it had a paintbrush when I bought it. I got it off the clearance section at Michael's. I very rarely pay full price for sketchbooks. A pug doing a derp face with little postage stamps all over it? Sure. I like drawing puggles with derpy faces. I feel like that needs to be drawn in purple. Sure. Doing commissions or art trades on DA? Good, Thomas, yeah. I haven't been on DeviantArt. I don't honestly anymore. The only time I go onto DeviantArt is to communicate with you guys. Let's pull this over here. So that way. There. Is that better? Is that better? We're gonna say it is. Just to communicate with you guys. Like, I mean, you've seen, I rarely ever post anything on there. I tend to, I got a fuzzy wuzzy pointing in. I tend to go to Instagram more. And then Instagram I have set up to post to Tumblr, to Twitter, and to my art Facebook page. Guys, I think they're trying to get in. I think they're trying to break in the door. eBay and Amazon, that's what makes up most of your shopping places. Amazon, I'm a big fan, especially during the holiday season. Thomas, do you think Mesoamerica mythology is relatively obscure in American media? Yes. It's a big word. Your first commissions didn't go well since no one was interested. I never, when I offer commissions, I very, very, ever rarely get anyone who's like, yeah. Can you guys hear that? I got a cat on the other side of the door that's meowing at me. No, Fuzzy Beans. You guys walk all over things. Okay. But yeah, no, I never, like, whenever I offer up commissions, I very rarely ever get people interested. So it's just one of those things, like, you just kind of, you have to stay dogged. I think DeviantArt has like a forum where you can post that that you're open to commissions. There's also, I think, some like artists, individuals looking for artists. And I'm also a firm believer, like, the more places you can get your art noticed, like, the better. So, like, don't be afraid to post onto, like, Tumblr, Twitter. I have a Twitter. I don't ever really get any attention on it. In all honesty, like, the most use it gets is the days when I listen to one of CR's streams. I'm not able to dedicate my computer or my phone to going on the chat, so I'll have him play on my I'll have him stream on my television, and he'll say a thing, and I have to respond. I have to correct or inform. Education needs to be made. Educating needs to be done. But yeah, don't get discouraged if you don't get a lot of commission. Lord knows I don't get a lot of commission work, which is something I'm always, I would like to work on. But don't be discouraged. Keep making art, even if it's just for yourself. I once read somewhere, it was like every artist out there has a fan, and if you give up your artwork, even if you haven't met this person yet, has a fan or a client or a calling, and if you give up drawing or your art, like, you'll never meet them. And guys, I cannot deny someone this majesty. I made lots of really good friends, like Mantis, if he's still hanging around. He's a good buddy. Like, the art community is very supporting. Is usually very supporting of each other. There's always drama. Someone somewhere is wanting. I've been very fortunate to mostly stay out of it. You'd love to do commissions? Yeah, as I said, I would like to be able to draw and such as a full-time career, but that is a a difficult path to travel, and I'm still traveling it. Can't give up. Just gotta be more stubborn than the problem. It's tough, man. I've been there. I know. It's tough. I stopped drawing for like 5 years. And it has been a hard fight to get back to where I was, let alone improve from there. Ooh, that's creepy. I need to look up a pug face. I don't particularly care for how randomized it is. Like, I feel like that's going to be difficult on your lore. I feel like that could definitely be difficult on your lore in the future. Now, if you have a plan that in mind, like by all means, keep in mind everything I say. Keep everything I say with a huge grain of salt. Because this is just my opinion. Nothing I say is doctrine. Because this is your project. You know what you want to do with it. You know where you want to go with it. As with all criticism, just, take everything with a grain of salt. Yes, you should definitely get a pitch Bible put together. Yeah, get your lore straightened out. Because then you can build, you can build a world around that. Um, because like once you have the foundations of your world set up, then you can kind of figure out how you want the characters to run around in it. It's sort of like figuring out the physics of a world. This is how gravity works, so this is how it affects everyone in the world around it. I know it's super fun to like think up of characters and adventures for them to go into, but I don't know. I have fun world building. Yeah. That looks kind of weird. Yeah, it's not usually um I'm I'm trying to think how I want to word it, because it's not always like the best. I mean, it's one of those things like I can understand. You're still early days. You're still trying to figure stuff out. That's don't feel too bad about that. And I know there have been instances where like something has gone above and beyond like what the creator intended. Like for example, I feel like Supernatural is one of those shows that it's gone on so long, it kind of grew to be bigger than what the creators originally intended. Which isn't, I mean, that's good because it was so popular, but at the same time, like they've now got they've got this world that is just sort of almost out of their control. There's just so much. And then like Teen Wolf is a really good example of a lore that just kind of got messy. I liked Teen Wolf quite a bit, and it had a lot of promise and potential, and it had a lot of great actors and a lot of good talent and a lot of decent music and good cinematography. I mean, like, it had a lot of great things going for it, but they just couldn't figure out their lore. They couldn't get it straight. They were kind of all over the place. And the show suffered for it. And also, it didn't help. Like a lot of actors, they used that show as sort of like a springboard for their own careers because they did so well in that show. They were able to find, I don't want to say bigger and better things, but bigger and better things. And so, like, it kind of, that didn't help the show any either. But in my opinion, like, the thing that just hurt it the most was the creator just didn't know his lore. He didn't put it down and stick to it. He just kind of, whatever seemed to benefit whatever kind of story he was trying to tell. It was just a little all over the place. And by all means, like, doesn't mean that it has to be 120% set in stone. Yeah, no, definitely look at other sources for inspiration, reference. That's what I do. Um, right now, I'm on a big Alphonse Mucha kick, so when I'm just kind of like, gosh, I don't know what I want to do, how I want to draw this, how I want to handle this, how I want to design. I'll look up Alphonse Mucha. Or Disney. Like, I've got a lot of Disney references. Like, that's just sort of, in all honesty, that's how people learn, is through imitation. Um, it's important to learn from them and to also kind of branch out and find yourself, and don't take something of theirs and claim it as your own. But it's not horrible to learn from others, to learn, because I mean that's how a lot of artists learn, is they study the masters, they study masterwork. We as human beings learn by watching our parents. We just mimic. That was supposed to be the Eiffel Tower. I don't think it looks like the Eiffel Tower. She got quiet. She's thinking. And there we go.
There it goes, puppy.
I was about to turn it around and show the computer. Look, computer, see? Charlie King comics like Fable, Goon, Hellboy, Hunter x Hunter, JoJo. Yep, those are some good comics to refer to. HB is my favorite. Check out Disc Series. It's an example of world building. Yeah. Stephen King is... he's very, very, very meticulous with his world building. And it's really fascinating because a lot of his books, it's argued, take place all in the same universe, which is pretty gosh darn mind-blowing. Underworld, Discworld, and Dark Tower are books you've been trying to get into. Oh, sorry, Underwolf, Discworld, and Dark Tower are two worlds. Yeah, you know, I should put Discworld in my queue. I'm waiting for Dark Tower to calm down a little bit from all of the hype since the movie was out. Excuse me, out not that long ago. But I definitely want to watch it. Or, you know, check out the series. I heard it was one of his best.
Puggo.
I know I said I'd draw people, but...
Puppers.
Oh, that looks kind of soulless. I regret everything. I've been frustrated with eyeballs lately. I haven't liked the way I've been drawing them.
I like his eyeballs.
We are almost at the 2-hour mark. Yeah, I could see that. Dark Tower being adapted to HBO. That would have been I think that would have probably been a good way to go. Or, what's his face, who did Hannibal and American Gods. I could see him having a heyday with Dark Tower. I didn't watch American Gods. I tried so hard to get through the audiobook, but the guy who was reading it was just painfully dull. I think I fell asleep a couple times. A technical writer. He is. He's an interesting writer. I both love and hate his writing. Like, there are some things that he just... was it A Goose Walking Over My Grave? I think I listened to 3 books in a row, and he used that phrase multiple times through each book. And the last one I listened from him was Roadwork, and Roadwork was awful. It wanted you to be sympathetic with the main character as he sort of slowly slid into insanity. But he just was facetious and obnoxious. I couldn't sympathize for him. I didn't care. Didn't care what happened to him. By the end of the book, I was like, about gosh darn time. Didn't really care. I was so glad when it was over.
Seaweed Puggo.
Well, we got another 5 minutes before we hit the 2 hour mark, and I think that's when I'll call it a night. So I've been thinking really hard about picking up the Jackbox 3. And maybe every once in a while, playing that game or playing Jackbox 3 and opening it up to whomever is interested in playing. Y'all can join in. It's good times. You don't have to own the game to play it. Just one person has to have the game, and everyone else can play like on their computers. Stephen King's The Longest Mile was good. No idea what that one's about. I almost described The Green Mile. Because The Green Mile, I want to say, was the one that followed a wrongly accused African American man in a time when hate is still strong, but hate was very, very rampant, and he was kind of obviously innocent but guilty due to his skin color, and it was just it was following like his time on the Green Mile on death row. But I don't know if that's the same story or not. I saw the movie. The movie was very good. The movie was very, very good. I haven't read Goon. I've read Fables. I've read, I want to say maybe the first 4 or 5 collected series of Fables. I didn't finish the series. I think, is it still ongoing? I want to say it's still ongoing. But I put quite a dent in it anyway. It was very good. I'm not gonna lie, I liked the cover art more than I liked the interior art. Because the cover art, they really had some neat and interesting things going on. The Goon I hadn't read, no. I've not heard of Salmonella Academy. Is it really bad that I had to say it out loud to get the joke? No, I haven't heard of him. He makes funny videos. What of? This is just a roll call of what I drew for Inktober. It's nothing special. Wolf Among Us, yeah, that's the game. It was strongly based after it. I haven't played it. I think I got it in like a bundle. But I just haven't played it. No, I got it on a Black Friday sale. From GameStop, that's what it was. It was a Black Friday sale. I just never played it. I suffer from the symptom of either not enough money, but enough time, or not enough time. Wait, did I just repeat myself? Plenty of time, not enough money, or enough money but not enough time. And if that didn't make sense, well, I'm sorry. It's not you, it's me. Steam games you never got around to playing because you don't spend time gaming anymore. Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time gaming either. Like I find when I do sit down and play games anymore, I feel guilty. Like I should be working on something. Surely there's something I should be working on. I think the only game recently that I just sat down and dedicated a huge chunk of time to was Mass Effect. May it ever rest in peace. There's surprised Telltale Games, people behind Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us hasn't done a Rick and Morty game yet. Probably would just a matter of time or license. More likely than not, it's just a matter of licensing. I don't know if who owns that. I don't know if if they might have a contract with another game company or they might have an interior game company. More likely than not, it's licensing. Did I know Fidel Castro loved dairy so much he bred a special cow named Uber Blanca who could make 109 liters of milk in one... no! Oh my gosh. That's a lot of milk. She was a Holstein and Zebu crossbreed. And she's persevered? Oh, preserved and stuffed. That's impressive. That's a lot of milk farts. Y'all don't know a rancid fart till you've smelt a milk fart. Those are nasty. My cat gets milk farts. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is not a good day. It's in the Book of World Records. There's one joke from my favorite cartoon that you were shocked by how... Was there one joke from a favorite cartoon that I was shocked that it got passed by the radar? Gravity Falls had quite a few zingers. Grunkle Stan got away with quite a few zingers that I guess they were clever enough and flowed enough that I'm not that surprised that it got by. I'm just very pleased that, because it was Disney XD. It was Disney, but it was still kind of like, I see what you did there. But I think my favorite was oh shoot, what's his name? The groundskeeper. His Abuelta, his grandma. Um, Abuelta, his grandmother was talking about her husband, and he's like, when she passed away, she'd go up to heaven. And Seuss was like, and then you could be up in heaven with Grandpa. And she's like, no, I don't think so. Seuss, yeah, Seuss. And she looked down, and it was just kind of like, oh, 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 oh. I thought that was pretty clever. Gravity Falls got away with so much. But that's because it was so good. It got weird. It wasn't, not all episodes were good. Some were definitely stronger than others. But Seuss, I loved Seuss. And I loved Grunkle Stan and Dipper and Mabel. I sympathize with Mabel. I wanted to make a Mabel cosplay. And Mabel's juice. I went to a convention. I went to a My Little Pony convention. And there was a young lady in a Mabel costume. And I was like, oh man, I don't usually do this, but I need to have your photo. And so we posed, and she pulled out Mabel juice, and I was like, oh, look at that, you even got the juice, she put glitter in it and everything. And she's like, yeah, that's not water, that's vodka. And I was like, oh, okay, what? She said she'd been up all night finishing her costume. And I liked the Giffany joke. I liked the episode with Giffany. I think that was one of my favorite episodes. It was Seuss-centric, so of course I liked it. Yeah, Sasquatch. I saw a few jokes from Rocko's Modern Life. I was like, that's true. Rocko's Modern Life got away with quite a bit. That show got pretty interesting. Your kind of... I know, right? My kind of Mabel. Rocko's Modern Life got pretty interesting. I remember watching it, and a lot of the jokes that, like, as an adult, I catch. But as a kid, just... Same with Ren and Stimpy. I didn't like Ren and Stimpy, though. I didn't like the art style. It was just so uncomfortable. The art style made me uncomfortable. That just wasn't my humor. I liked the video. I had the video game for the Genesis, though. I played the heck out of that. The video game was lots of fun. I didn't care for the show. That's not a common opinion amongst my generation. A lot of people thought it was brilliant. Rocko's Modern Life got away with a lot. Animaniacs got away with a lot. Hello, Nurse. But I feel like good shows if a show's good and can make those kind of jokes, then it should be able to get away with it. I firmly believe that a good show shouldn't rely on being able to use adult humor to make it good or interesting. It should be clever. Rocko's Modern Life, I felt, was clever. Gravity Falls was clever. Animaniacs was very clever. I feel like, shows that are clever like that should be rewarded with getting away with those kind of jokes, having being allowed to have those kind of jokes in their arsenal, because it shows that they can make them and get away with them and still be funny. I had to think of what the alphabet had next. Like, what comes after T? Yeah, that's an ugly Y. Ralph Bighead Studios, BS, or this one grave that says, "Here lies a big white cat," or how about the model scene in Animaniacs? Mixed on John K. style fingerprint. Disney wouldn't let Alex Hirsch do a reference to spinning the bottle joke. I'm not surprised. I think that one's just almost a little too... I don't know. I'm not surprised. Still had to mentally go through the alphabet for a second. And what did I do after Z? A-E? Funny O thing. Danish vowels. And then A with a hat. Then artist choice. No, it wasn't artist choice. It was, I went back and I went and revisited a failure. And then artist choice. There we go. Audio from the Comic-Con panel. I'll have to listen to it later. Surprised me the most. Yeah, it's been so long since I watched Rocko's Modern Life. I know the wife next door was pretty flirty. Some of those kind of, she probably got away with some stuff. I think the neighbor, the husband was pretty, I think he was pretty scary. If I recall, he was kind of scary. It's been so long since I saw it though. Double check how one spells caterpillar. Oh, excuse me, I apologize. That was right in the camera. What was G? Guys, what was G? What did we do for G? Caterpillar, elk, fox, gecko. Well, you can tell I wasn't very won over by my gecko. I couldn't remember it. Hare, I like the hare. What did I do? Ibex. Was it ibex? It wasn't an ibex. What were you? Ibis. Whoops. So do you guys have any like art superstitions? Kookaburra. Like weird art habits or art superstitions, or like, as I said, I don't draw in the first or last pages of my sketchbooks. I also don't draw on the back of pages just because I'm left-handed and that'll smear. Where's L? Lunar moth. You think I would remember these since I drew them. Choky chicken. That's true. Choky chicken. That one was pretty. Just heads up. Choky is spelled CH, or choke. I don't know how they spell choky, but choke is spelled CHOKE. Chalk, CHOCK, is a word. It's just it has a different meaning. That's your informative bit for the day. That was a Quetzal. I wasn't very happy with how my Quetzal turned out. That was initially what I was going to do for Q, and I just wasn't happy with how it turned out. So instead, I drew Queen Bee, and I need to go back and finish inking. I'm sorry if this is annoying. Is that better? What about pretzel? Alright, Underwolf. We might be here. I had planned on stopping about 20 minutes ago, but it's not a superstition, but you started doing about 20 minutes of warm-up sketches of still lifes and pen. That's good practice. They always say to warm up. This was one of my, this was, I think, day 30. I went back and reworked a piece that I wasn't happy with. was supposed to be a snow owl, and I just wasn't happy with how it was turning out, so I turned it into a horned owl, and I'm pleased with it. When it comes to art superstition, you try to remind yourself not to be the bad artist that everyone has been talking about. I don't think you're a bad artist, Thomas. I don't know why you would... Oh, Ariel, I was not happy with that one. Not at all. Let's see. Vulture! That one turned out okay. Water buffalo. I don't know if that counts as a superstition. It sounds more like a reminder of the truth. Oh yeah, that's just sort of... I think that's what artists do. They can't see how good their stuff is. They always wish they were better. They always, they just see what's bad, or their weak spots. That's what it always, when people always ask, well, how can I get better at drawing fast? And it's like, well, you can't. That was supposed to be colored in black! Ah! See? But it's just one of those things like you can't get good at drawing quick. You will never be happy with how you might find yourself content with how projects turn out, how a piece turns out. You might be proud of it, but you will never consider yourself good at drawing. You will always want to push yourself to get better. You can't get good at art in a short period of time. It's a lifelong journey. It's sort of like, it's a passion. Even as a hobbyist, you're going to want to, strive and encourage yourself to get better. So that's why I always kind of cringe whenever I see people ask that. Because you can't, you won't. You just, straight up, you won't. I mean, there are ways to, there are practices and habits to get into that you can improve your technical skills and such, but you're always gonna find yourself wanting to just push to get better, and that's good. Like there's nothing wrong with wanting to continue to push to get better. You just have to also recognize how you've improved. Give yourself the credit you're due. Every once in a while, like, go back and visit an old sketchbook and see how far you've progressed. That's always fun. Is it weird that Hungary is the country you have a ton of... No, that's just where you specialize, it seems. For some reason, you can relate to Johnny V, Invader Zim creator, in terms of art. I can see that. You both have like a very dramatic style. Shall we, just for a laugh, and what is this? Okay, for realsies this time, guys, 5 minutes, and then we're calling it a night. But just for laughs, do you guys want to see the oldest sketchbook I've got on hand? And Suki, yeah, definitely go to Hungry sometime. I was there very shortly, and it was it was a fun time. I was there for like an evening. Here's the oldest sketchbook that I... Oh, that didn't stick. No, that's not gonna stick. That I have on hand. You guys ready? Boom. Well, boom. Can it be possible that a cartoon like Adventure Time or The Loud House could do a parody of the time travel alien book Slaughterhouse 5? Possibly. I know, right? This is sad little baby art. Oh, that's awful. Mongolia also makes the best barbecue. I don't know what it was. Aw, Neopets. Here we go. This is actually a relatively decent comparison. So there you go. This is Baby Liz. And this is Old Lady Liz. Like, is this perfect? No. Are there things I could do that, you know, make it better? Quite possibly, without a doubt. But I can recognize that I've come a long way. So, you know, every once in a while just sit down and go through your old sketchbooks and see that. I don't know if that's inspirational or naggy, but I'm just trying to fill up the last minute. Some of these are awful. But that's what little Baby Liz could do. Yeah, I tried really hard. I wanted to have art like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VIII. No dice. Sorry, I found a sketchbook from just last year. I did a lot more figure drawings. Okay. Okay, gang. It's been 2.5. Oh, shoot. I'm knocking everything over. It's been 2.5 hours. I think I'm gonna call it a night. Underwolf! Just as I was saying, it's time to go to bed. Welcome back. I was just showing off. I had showed off some of my old stuff when Liz was little, when she was a Lizette. No, Pug. Alright, gang. Well, I am, for realsies, calling it a night. Thank you for coming back, Underwolf. It was good to see you. Thank you for joining me, Suki, Thomas, Suri, May, and Mantis. It's always good to see you guys. I hope you have a What is tomorrow? Friday? Oh, thank goodness. I hope you all have a delightful Friday. And until I see you all again, stay safe, stay smart, and stay fabulous. Where's my... Oh, come on. I had the nice sign off, and now I